Hey man, I'm about to tell you something that'll sound twisted at first, maybe even manipulative, but once you understand it, you'll stop getting played, ghosted, or treated like an option. And here it is, the less you care, the more they chase. Sounds cruel, right? Like some heartless game? But hear me out. I'm not saying don't feel, I'm saying stop broadcasting your feelings like a man with no control. Because women don't chase men who wear their hearts on their sleeves. They chase men who guard their emotions like treasure. The moment you become fully emotionally available, fully eager, fully invested without her earning it, she pulls away. Why? Because she senses it. And that's when she tests. That's when she withdraws. That's when she looks at you and thinks, why is this guy giving me everything before I've proven anything? It's a paradox. The more openly you chase, the less attractive you become. The more you idolize her, the less she respects you. Because attraction doesn't grow in comfort, it grows in uncertainty. And when you're too available, too predictable, too eager, she stops feeling the fire. You see, women are emotional creatures, driven by mystery, challenge, and emotional elevation. But when you lay everything out from day one, she loses the desire to explore you. You've already given her the whole map. The game? It's over before it starts. But the man who holds back, who gives just enough to ignite her curiosity, but not enough to satisfy it completely, that man becomes unforgettable. Let's be real, the average guy thinks being sweet, open, and emotionally expressive is the key to her heart, but that's only half the truth. What really grabs her attention isn't how much you love her, it's how much you love yourself. It's the man who can look at her beauty, appreciate it, and still not flinch, still walk away, still say no when her behavior crosses the line. That kind of detachment, that's not evil, that's discipline, that's power. And in her world of guys who orbit, simp, and overextend just for a crumb of validation, that power is irresistible. And here's what most men will never understand. When you stop trying to prove yourself, you actually prove everything. Because women are not attracted to words, they're drawn to energy. And your energy says more when you're silent than it ever will when you're texting paragraphs. You walk into a room, calm, grounded, unbothered. She feels it, and she doesn't know why, but suddenly she's trying harder, smiling more, asking questions. Why? Because she can't read you. You've become a mystery. And a man who's hard to figure out, that's the man she can't stop thinking about. You want to know what really gets her hooked? Inconsistency. And I know that sounds wrong, like you're playing games, but hear me, what I'm saying isn't about deception. It's about being unpredictable, not in a flaky, childish way, but in a way that says, you don't get full access to me just because you're pretty. One day you're warm. The next, you're focused on your mission. One night you give her attention. The next, you're busy chasing your goals. That tension, that unpredictability, it stimulates her because she never knows what version of you she's going to get. And that emotional roller coaster, that's exactly what makes her fall. There's a reason bad boys win. Not because they're better, but because they're less available. They don't over-communicate. They don't chase. They don't explain. They don't ask for permission. And women hate that, but they love that. Because it triggers something primal, something wild, something that says, this man can't be controlled. And when a woman feels like she can't control you, she wants to possess you. That's the game most nice guys never learn. They try to be loved through logic, but attraction doesn't care about logic. Attraction cares about emotional dominance. You ever notice how women complain about toxic guys, but always go back to them? It's not because they want to be hurt. It's because those guys, as flawed as they are, know how to withhold validation. They don't give everything away. They don't make her the center of their universe. They may be chaotic, but they're never desperate. And that energy, that keeps her locked in. Again, this isn't about copying toxic behavior. It's about learning the psychology. The truth is, she's not chasing him. She's chasing the way he makes her feel. And if you can master that, you win without begging. Let me be clear, you don't have to be a jerk. You don't have to lie. You don't have to manipulate. All you have to do is detach. Detach from outcome. Detach from the need to be liked. Detach from needing her validation to feel like a man. Because when she feels that you want her, but don't need her, she respects you. She desires you. She craves you. And suddenly you're no longer competing with the 99 guys in her DMs. You've elevated. You've become the exception. And all because you have the balls to put your focus on you. There's an evil side to this that's only evil if you misuse it. Because once you master detachment, women start chasing, they start investing, they start obsessing, and if your ego isn't in check, you'll play them, you'll use them, you'll manipulate them. And that's not what I'm teaching you. What I'm showing you is that power must be held with discipline, because once you realize how easy it is to pull women just by being emotionally reserved, you'll be tempted to abuse it. But the real man, he stays centered. He attracts, but doesn't exploit. He leads, but doesn't manipulate. He's not evil, he's untouchable. And here's the coldest part of it all. Women know this works on them. They know they're drawn to the man who doesn't care. They know they respect the guy who doesn't text first. They know they feel butterflies for the one who disappears sometimes. And yet they still chase, because attraction is not a choice, it's an instinct. And the moment you stop playing the game by their rules and start living by your code, you flip the dynamic forever. You're no longer trying to be chosen, you become the chooser. And in that moment, brother, you'll never chase again. Let's talk about texting, because this is where most men get exposed. You meet a woman, the energy is fresh, you're intrigued, so you start blowing up her phone, double texting, responding in seconds, trying to be witty, charming, available. And at first she might respond, but soon it starts to fade. She gets dry, she takes hours to reply. You start panicking. What did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong, brother. You did too much right, too fast. You handed her the upper hand, you gave her all the power, and she felt it. And once a woman feels that you're more invested than she is, she loses interest, fast. Because it's not the availability that kills the attraction, it's the predictability. You became easy to decode. And once she figures you out, she files you under next. You want her attention? Then withhold yours. Not out of manipulation, but as a form of self-respect. Because your attention is valuable. It's not free. It's not handed out just because she's pretty. She has to earn it. Just like you're expected to earn her time, she's expected to earn your focus. And once you start operating from that frame, the game flips. You're not checking your phone hoping she messaged. You're out handling business, building yourself, cultivating silence, and now she's the one checking for you. Why? Because you're not emotionally accessible on demand. You're not broadcasting your desire like a man with no options. You're playing it cool. You're playing it right. Let's talk about what happens when you pull back. Because at first it feels dangerous. You worry she'll lose interest. You worry you'll never hear from her again. You worry you're playing a game that could backfire. But the truth is, pulling back exposes everything. If she's only in it for the chase, she'll vanish. Good. That saves you time. But if she's genuinely interested, she'll come forward. She'll reach out, she'll ask questions, she'll match your effort, and that's what you want. You don't want to force attraction, you want to reveal it. And detachment is the fastest way to separate the real from the fake. Here's what women won't tell you. They don't want a man who's completely emotionally open right away. They want a man who feels something but controls it, who sees beauty but doesn't flinch, who enjoys her presence but still walks away without needing her to chase. That emotional control, that's magnetic, because it's rare. Most men break at the sight of female affection. They melt, they spill their feelings, they start imagining a future. But the man who keeps his feet on the ground, even when her body's on his lap, that's the man she respects. That's the man she talks about with her friends. I don't know what it is about him, but I can't stop thinking about him. Exactly. It's not what you say. It's the fact that you didn't say it at all. Women respond to how you make them feel, not what you do, not what you give, not what you div, not what you div, not what you say, how you make them feel. And detachment creates a powerful cocktail of emotions in her. Curiosity, mystery, desire, insecurity, hope, doubt, all of it. And guess what? That's what makes her fall. Not security, not routine, not daily good morning texts, but emotional inconsistency. Again, not from a place of being manipulative, but because you've mastered your own emotions first. You're not reactive, you're not predictable, you're dangerously calm. And that calmness, that's what drives her crazy. There's an energy that only the most centered men have. It's the energy of not needing her, not needing her validation, her affection, her praise. You enjoy it, sure, but you don't need it. And when a woman senses that you're a complete man without her, that you're not begging for emotional crumbs, She doesn't know how to handle it. It unsettles her, because most men orbit her, most men pedestalize her. But you see her for what she is, a human, not a goddess, not a fantasy. And in doing so, you break the pattern. You don't bend, you don't beg, you stay solid. And that solidity, that's what makes you the man she remembers. This is where most men screw up. They show their cards too early, they confess too much, reveal too much, chase too hard. But the man who sits in silence, who lets her wonder, who lets her wait, that's the man who drives her wild. Because women crave mystery, they crave unpredictability, they crave the emotional journey, and if you give it all up front, you rob them of the experience. So don't text right away. Don't always be available. Don't always explain. Let your silence work for you. Let your absence create presence. Because sometimes, not replying is louder than anything you could ever say. Now here's the hard part. This mindset isn't for the weak. It takes strength to stay centered. It takes patience to remain detached. It takes self-respect to walk away from a beautiful woman because her energy was off. But if you want to stop getting played, ghosted, or manipulated, this is the way. You stop acting like a fan. You stop investing before she does. You stop giving your energy for free. You become the man who she has to earn. And once you live from that frame, you'll never chase again, because you'll know your value. And once you know, brother, there's no going back. And maybe it sounds cold, maybe it feels wrong, maybe it goes against everything you were taught, but what you were taught didn't work. It made you soft, it made you easy, it made you disposable. This makes you rare. This makes you the man she's not sure about, the man who doesn't text first, the man who disappears for a week and comes back like nothing happened, the man who makes her question her own value. And it's not because you're cruel, it's because you refuse to hand out your soul before someone proves they're worthy. That's not evil, that's evolution. So if it feels evil to be detached, good, let it feel that way. Because in a world where women are constantly validated, constantly chased, constantly worshipped, the man who doesn't care becomes the man they crave. And once you understand that, once you live that, you'll never chase again. You'll never beg. You'll never lose sleep, wondering what she's thinking. Because you'll know you flipped a game, you stopped being a pawn, you became the board. And from that moment forward, she plays by your rules.